Hi, first graders. We're back with our third lesson for the Shoemaker and the Elves. And today we are going to use this story to talk about the central message in the book. So we are going to use this page in your comprehension booklet to talk about the central message in the story. And to remind you, a central message, or sometimes we call it the author's message in a story, is the lesson the author wants readers to learn. And today we're going to use key events to identify what the central message is. Okay. So let's think about some important events in the text to help us answer some of these questions. Our first question is, what can you tell about the elves by what they do for the shoemaker? So again, I'm not going to reread the whole text because we did that in our first lesson, but if you need to do that before we start, you can pause this video and reread the text. Okay. I'm going to scroll through to this page here. On this page, it said that, whoops, not this page. Let's go back. That the elves, we can see on this page what they're doing. They were making shoes for the shoemaker, and they're singing, "We sleep by day, at night we sew, in and out our needles go, stitch, stitch, stitching small and neat, lovely shoes for lucky feet." So this text evidence shows that the elves make the shoes for the shoemaker, and these actions tell me that the elves are kind. They're doing something kind for the shoemaker, even though they're not getting anything in return at this point. Okay, so let's go to our page. What can you tell about the elves by what they do for the shoemaker? So I'm gonna say the elves make shoes for the shoemaker. This shows that the elves are kind. Don't forget your period. All right, question 2 says, what can you tell about the shoemaker and his wife by what they did for the elves? So if you remember, after they discovered that the elves were making the shoes, they wanted to thank them. So on this page, the shoemaker asks, how can we ever thank them? We have made a lot of money because of them. And his wife says, let's make them some new clothes. And they made some new clothes and they left them out. And then they continued to do that for them every year. So our question was, what can you tell about the shoemaker and his wife by what they did for the elves? So first, let's say what they did. What was the evidence? The shoemaker and his wife made clothes for the elves. Okay. And what does this show you about them? Think about it. What does that show? I'm going to say it shows they are grateful. They want to thank them. Okay. So now we're going to think about these 2 questions that we answered using text evidence and think about, what is the central message of this story? What do you think the author wants you to learn that you could use in your own life from this story? So let's think back. First, the elves did something nice for the shoemaker, and that showed they were kind. Then the shoemaker and his wife did something nice for the elves. I think the central message of the story is that if you are nice to others, they will be nice to you back. What do you think? Do you agree? So I want you to finish this sentence on your own. I think the central message is. What do you think the author wanted you to learn from this story? Don't forget to draw a picture. All right, good work today. See you next time.